We're going to talk about today the 3 things that we need in order for you guys to get pre-qualified for a home mortgage. I'm going to take a few moments, look at some of the comments. If you guys have any questions, let us know. And also, while you guys are typing in those questions, start thinking of things that you want us to cover next Friday. We're open to any suggestions, things that you guys want to know about home purchasing. If you're a home seller, things that you may want to know, trying to sell during the times that we're in right now. So we'll take a few moments, we'll look through the comments. Any questions that you may have, go ahead and type it down below and let us know if there's anything that we can help you with. Okay, let's go first.
So really quickly on Instagram, Jessica, she wants to know what happens if you have a credit score of 580, like below 580, but you're still very motivated in buying a home. Like, what do you advise her to do?
So depending on the other variables, if your credit is a little low, usually we advise people to get with somebody to help them with the credit repair. A lot of times it's just simply paying down a credit card, paying something off, taking care of a collections, and getting the letters that those things have been cleared. Those things can be cleared up easily. It just depends. Each person's profile is going to be a little bit different. Depends on what their credit report looks like. But yeah, if they're right at the border, they want to kind of move past that 580 mark, and they want to get to, even in the 600s to purchase a home. We'd have to look at each person's credit report, see where we can best pay down some stuff, get rid of some collections, anything like that to get their credit score up, so that way we can qualify them, 1, for the purchase, and 2, a better interest rate. So that way they're not stuck with a very high interest rate, having to pay, so much over the next 30 years.
And is that something you can assist them with? Like, say if they wanted, to check that out, can you guide them more in so? Sure.
So we work with a couple really good mortgage lenders. What we recommend is get with the mortgage lenders, help them walk you through the pre-qualification process. They will have recommendations as far as what to work on, things to pay down, things to get rid of. And then they also have referrals, people who have credit repair companies that can help you out, people that they work closely with to help get the loans done. So anybody who's in trouble with their credit that need help, I recommend DM us, give us a personal message on the side. Let us know that you want to purchase, but you have some issues with your credit. Let us point you to the right people, get you in that pre-qualification process, and then that way we can help you build a roadmap to what you need to get done to be able to purchase maybe in the next 3 to 6 months.
So I do have another question over here from a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
They want to know how much is a down payment for a home.
Okay, so good question. So there's a few options with down payment. The FHA, which is the Federal Housing Administration loan, you can get as low as down as a 3.5%. There are some instances where you can get a 3%, but that's very selective for certain areas. The next is a 5% conventional loan, 10% or 20% conventional loans. Most people, if this is their first time buying, if you don't have that much cash on hand but you still want to purchase, the FHA is the best route to go. It's the lowest down payment that you can put in, and then that will help you get into a house with the minimum amount of money down. You do have to pay 1.5% to 2% for closing costs also on the back end when you're going to close escrow. Working with the realtor, working with one of us, we can help to negotiate some of those into the contract. It can't happen all the time. It depends on the seller if they're willing to work with us, but we can help to lower those costs on the back end. Closing costs typically range from 1.5% to 2.5% on the higher end, but we want to be able to negotiate that into the contract for you. So in total, you're looking at about maybe $15,000 down for a $500,000 home at 3.5%. You want to maybe save up to 20 to 25 to cover some of those closing costs and also the reserves. So typically maybe between $20,000 to $25,000 that you should have in cash, or again from the retirement accounts. If you have the IRA, 401k, something with your work where you can transfer that $20,000 to $25,000 out, and there's no money out of your pocket because you've already been saving in one of those 401k accounts that you get through your work. It's easy to transfer that money over, happens through escrow, and then that could be your down payment for a house. So about $20,000 to $25,000 depending on the home.
We have somebody that's interested in buying a home, right? But let's say that person assisted a family member in purchasing a car.
Okay.
And that obviously shows on their credit. So how can they go about that so that it doesn't affect them, potentially getting a home?
That's a great question. Really good question. So what we recommend is if, let's say, you're a co-borrower on something, whether it's a car or another house, you need to be able to show 12 months worth of bank statements that you did not make a single payment towards that liability. So that's one of the ways that we can get that cleared, is to be able to show 12 months that you did not make a single payment to that. So if the other person's making the payments and you have nothing to do with it, 12 months of bank statements, we can be able to submit that. Each case is different, but that's typically the way that we can get that taken care of. So 12 months bank statements, we can get that cleared up for you, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Do you recommend buying a pre-foreclosed home?
So pre-foreclosure is a very unique situation. A pre-foreclosed home means that the home has been notified that they've defaulted on one of their loans. It can be a little bit tricky in a notice of default situation because it's technically not a foreclosure yet. So the homeowner still has a chance to save or recover their home. In a pre-foreclosure, you would need to work with the seller in order to negotiate and see if they're even willing to sell at that point. And then if they're willing to sell, we can work out a deal and then we can purchase the home from there. But it only means that they're in a notice of default.
What is PMI and how can I get rid of it?
So PMI is the private mortgage insurance. So the mortgage insurance that gets applied to your mortgage whenever you put 20% below 20% down. So the best way to get rid of that, if you're in an FHA or a conventional loan that's at 5 or 10%, you would need to refinance, be able to show enough equity in the house, and then they would be able to, after the refinance, if you have enough equity, they'll be able to take that off, and then you can lower your payments that way. But the mortgage insurance gets put on there when you do any kind of home purchase that's below 20%. So 20% and above, no mortgage insurance. Below 20%, you need mortgage insurance. So the best way we recommend, if you need somebody to help you with the refinance, you can go ahead and message me. We can connect you with the right person to do a refinance, and then that would be somebody that can help you do that. Get the refinance done, get rid of the mortgage insurance, and now your payments would drop, $300 or $400 just with doing that.
Is it a good time to buy a home now, or do you see a dip in the housing market in the near future?
Dang, that's the burning question. So this is what we're seeing. I don't want to give you my opinionated belief of what's happening, but what the actual facts and the data are showing us, as much as everybody wants prices to drop, even myself included, it's not happening because inventory is still very low and the amount of buyers in the market are still very low. It's still driving prices up, but at just a slower pace. So honestly, the best time to buy is probably right now because we don't know how much longer prices are gonna still keep going up. We can't predict that going forward. And I hate to sound like a salesperson, but you rather buy now with the low interest rates and not have to pay maybe down the road $25,000 or $50,000 more for a house that you could have got now for $525. In a couple months, you may be paying $550 for that same house. So we're not seeing prices going down. There is still a lack of inventory, which is keeping the prices up. So until we see some kind of shift in the lack of inventory, prices are going to stay high. They're definitely floating up near the top. And as much as we thought that this was going to create another 2008, 2009, where we saw a huge drop in prices, it's just not the reality of things right now. The reality is prices are staying up. There's not too many buyers in the market right now, and there's a lack of inventory, which is keeping prices up, and we don't know how much longer that's going to keep going. So, but that's what the data, that's what the facts are telling us. So the best time I would suggest, buy something now while the interest rates are low, while the prices are still where they're at before it goes higher, because even if the prices do drop, interest rates are going to go back up to about 4 or 5%. So this is a good question. It's a burning topic. People may disagree with me, but that's what the facts are saying. Okay, well, we really appreciate your guys' times. The questions that were coming in were really good questions. I hope that I did my best answering some of those questions for you guys. If you have something that you guys want to discuss separately, privately, message me. We can talk about it. Let me know if you guys know of anybody, family members or friends who are in a situation where they need some help. Definitely let us know. I know there's a lot of uncertainty right now in the market. Also, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, if you're in a forbearance or a deferment situation and you're not sure what the consequences of that are going to be, message me. We can talk about it and get some clarity around that. Let me know what you guys want to talk about next week. I'm super curious about what some of your guys' suggestions are about some topics that you guys want to talk about, because we want to help you guys. We want to educate you guys on what's the market like right now. What is the best decisions to make? Ultimately, we want to give you guys all the knowledge and let the decisions be in your hands. So thank you guys for tonight, and we'll see you next Friday.